Introducing the referee in charge of our main event, Dr. James Jenkin. All right, fans, here we go. This is it, the main event of the evening, 12 rounds of championship boxing. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring, blue trunks with white trim. Hailing from Tucumán, Argentina. His weight tonight is 121.5 pounds. His record, 25 victories, only 2 defeats, 17 wins by way of knockout. He is ranked the #1 WBC Super Bantamweight contender. Please welcome Pedro Decima. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, is the defending champion. Entering the ring wearing dark blue trunks with white trim and representing Richfield, Utah. His weight tonight is 122 pounds. His record, 20 wins, 4 defeats, 11 wins by way of knockout. He is the WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the world, the real Paul Banke. Here's their main event referee, Dr. James Jenkin, now to give instructions.
Interpret. Low blows iliac press. Low blows it. Okay, obey my commands at all times. Shake hands. Good luck, gentlemen.
Paul Banke, the challenger, and Banke goes after him in a hurry. This is the champ against the #1 contender. If Decima wins this fight, he will be the only Argentinian at the present time to hold a championship.
No wrestle, no wrestle.
By one of the governing bodies of boxing as we know it. This is the WBC. Banke usually takes quite a beating en route to his victories, and he gives out quite a beating.
I noticed one thing, Chick, before the fight started. Paul Banke was not warmed up. He's not perspiring. And as a champion, you should be perspired. You should be very, very warm. As we mentioned many times, the most dangerous part of a fight are the first 2 rounds. You can get caught early, get caught cold, and take a visit right to the cameras.
Both men showing good hand speed in the first round. Both men have the respect of the other. You can bet on that. Banke, in his lone title defense in Korea, was behind on every card in his 12-round championship bout. And in the 11th round, he knocked down the man that was challenging for it, a man named Lin. And in the 12th round, he knocked him out to salvage the fight. But he took a tremendous beating. When the fight ended, Banke's eye was the size of a softball. That hasn't been too long ago, so here he is back in the ring. He had a tough fight with Zaragoza to win the title right here by knockout. And in that fight, he had trailed through 8 rounds, only to score a knockout in the 9th.
He's bleeding through the mouth right now, Chick. He took some right hands right on the butt.
Now the challengers, Decima in the light blue trunks, said that he thinks the key to the fight for him is the first 4 rounds. He says, if I can get through the first 4 rounds, I'm going to beat him. The third man in the ring, Dr. James Jenkin. Nice shot to the stomach by Decima. Look at those jabs, beautiful jabs, and he's pummeling away at Banke. Banke absorbed 2 good shots to the face in that exchange. Banke is always willing to take one to give you one.
And Paul is so quick of hands, I'm surprised that he hasn't taken the fight to Decima. Stick that jab, that right jab out there, and just keep him away from him to elude that power of Decima.
10 seconds left in the round. Banke is known as a rugged swarmer. He hasn't done much of that in this round because Decima has kept him off with some fine jabbing with that left hand. He's a good jabber.
Decima 10-9. He had a good flurry in the beginning, the middle, and at the end of the round. And he's starting out with a good flurry now, Chick.
You show me a guy with a good jab, and that's what Decima has. I'll show you a good fighter. He's 25-2, fans, 17 by knockouts. He won his first 14 fights as a professional. He lost to Ramon Soria. And he lost to Luis Espinosa, two-time WBA champion. So he's been around.
He's a very, very good counter-puncher, Chick. He waits, he throws his jab, he waits for Paul to come back, and he throws right over the top. And that's what he's doing right now.
He's got a good jab that you've always got to worry about Banke. That was almost a low blow by Banke. What I mean is, and there's blood coming out of either the mouth or the nostrils of Banke.
Say it. It's on both. I think it's coming on both his nose and his mouth. He's getting hit with those uppercuts right up the middle, Chick, and that's what caused the bleeding. And it's very dangerous. Now we're only in the second round. We have 10 more rounds after this.
One thing about Banke, he gets hit a lot in his fights. And we're wondering if the tough fights that he's had and winning the title from Zaragoza, and then of course defending against Kijun Lee when he was behind on all cards, and both of those fights came back to knock his man out. So you know he's durable, and he's got heart.
And watching Paul from the beginning, Chick, I mean, he's got such quick hands. Are those necessary punches? I don't think they're necessary. I think he takes a lot of unnecessary shots.
That was one of the things that they tried to teach him too through the couple of years that he's been challenging for the title, is don't throw as many punches, but throw more quality punches.
Right, and like you say, Paul doesn't mind. He tells me, I don't mind getting hit. I like to get hit. But you don't want to get hit, man. When you're fighting for the world title, the less punches you take, the better.
So far, Decima has had great ring concentration. He said, if I can get through the first 4, I'll win. He's through 1. And he's doing a heck of a job counter-punching here in round 2. And Banke, so far, does not look like Banke. He looks befuddled, and he took a right hand that staggered him. Banke's hurt. Measuring him as Decima. Banke is known, though, for coming back out of tough situations. But he took some shots there against the ropes. Pedro Decima out in the middle of the ring waiting for him. And I don't think anyone could describe it better than manager Bob Richardson did. He said, you're standing, you're lazy, you're not working. Why? And the answer from Paul Banke was, I don't know. This guy seems to be able to hit anything he wants with his jab and then follow with the right hand, and Banke is confused. There's no doubt about that. And whether or not he's ready for this fight, I'm beginning to question in my mind. Right above us now.
He's taking some shots, Chick, that we talked about that are unnecessary. He does not belong on these ropes or in the corner. He belongs in the middle of the ring, bobbing and weaving, throwing punches to the body to the head.
He's trying to counter punch now, trying to get back into it. But the momentum and the rhythm, remember that word rhythm, belongs to Decima.
You said it perfect. Paul is out of rhythm. He doesn't have anything going for him right now.
He's retreating. And maybe that's a good thing to do right now, because if he stands in there toe-to-toe, he's going to get knocked down, just as sure as we're talking. I know how tough Paul is. I know how much he wants to defend this title. But wishing doesn't make it so.
You got to make things happen. You got to throw the jab. You got to make things happen. Things are not happening right now for Paul Banke.
I think he'll straighten it out. I really do. I believe that I'm going to take and put some credence in what you said at the top of the show, that he was not warm when the fight started. I really wonder about, remember they both got in the ring before the national anthem. Not one national anthem, but 2. Beautiful songs, beautiful artists singing. But that takes time, and even if you're warmed up in your locker room, you can get cold standing out here waiting.
That's a very, very good observation, because a lot of times the fighters will get cold, and that may have happened tonight.
I'm going to tell you something, though, that I observed after you brought it to my attention, that Banke wasn't perspiring. Neither was Decima.
That's right. So now let's see what happens. You know, like you said earlier, Chick, Paul has the ability to turn the fight around with one punch, but he can't wait too long. He just got his mouthpiece knocked out of his mouth.
They got to stop the fight. Oh, this other guy, look at the confidence on the face of Decima. He is so confident, I cannot believe it. He is the challenger.
He's still not even perspiring, Chick, and that's something very scary here. He's not perspiring. It's like this is such an easy job for him tonight.
Banke, of his last 8 wins, 6 have been by knockouts. He has scored them. And he's got to go to work here pretty soon. This is round 3, and we're in the final 30 seconds of it. And so far, he's lost every minute of the fight. He ran into a jab, and now he runs into a right hand. The jab of Decima is devastating. It's one of the best jabs we've seen in this great Western Forum ring in some time.
I can't believe this kid's not perspiring. Decima.
End of the round. All right, here we go to the 4th round. How do you have it scored now?
I've got the fight 30-27 in favor of Decima.
We've got a guy in the truck, and he does wonderful work for Prime Network. His name is Steve Elkins. And he came up with the line of the night. The opponent of Banke is Pedro Decima. And he said, quote, Banke's getting decimated. Not bad.
Come on, Stever.
Not bad. But don't give up your daytime job. All right, here we go. Banke is trying his best now to get back in this, but he is confused. The rhythm of Decima is so far flawless, and it has not changed one iota since the fight started.
Well, the cut has been opened underneath the right eye of Paul Banke, and it's swollen.
That is the same eye that was swollen in his recent title defense in Korea. Oh, he's been hit so many times in the face. I'm surprised he hasn't been cut.
Watch the counter punching of Decima. It's unbelievable.
They're both 26 years of age. And his jab is so effective. Joe Louis lived with his jab. Ali lived with his jab. And so can the little man. What are they chanting?
Pedro, Pedro.
Pedro. A lot of people from Argentina here tonight, huh?
They want to see him take that championship back.
He would be the only recognized champion in boxing from the country of Argentina. Oh, he knocked him down with a solid right hand. No doubt about it. Another slow fall. Banke gets up, and he should be taking the count. It doesn't make any difference if you count 1 or 9. He shouldn't hurry back into it because he's going to get knocked down again if he does. He is totally beaten so far in this fight. This is the worst beating I've ever seen Banke take, and down he goes again. He's got a cut into the right eye. That's 2 knockdowns. Banke wants to fight some more, and Dr. James sent 10 count to 8 and said, let's go. And here comes Decima again. Not rushing it, just measuring it.
While taking a lot of punches, Chick.
That's it. It's all over. The championship goes to Argentina. Pedro Decima with a brilliant knockout in 2 minutes and 35 seconds of the 4th round. No doubt about it. He was by far the superior champion. The superior fighter for this championship. Paul Banke came into the fight, I'm not going to say unprepared, but the moment of truth came when the opening bell rang, and he never, ever got into the fight. And that was because Pedro Decima had the perfect plan of attack. He followed it to the T, and now as Decima goes over to congratulate Banke on holding the title and saying, thanks for letting me get it, it is a well-deserved change of the belt.
I think Decima came over here after the first round, Chick, as you'll see some punches of the knockdown. After the first round, he knew that Paul was out of rhythm, and that's a perfect word because his rhythm was way off, and that's when they stopped the fight right here.
That's the first knockdown. The second one in the corner, he literally just sits down to avoid any more punches. And he was helped down with that right hand. the champion and the WBC title holder, super bantamweight, Pedro Decima.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time 2 minutes 35 seconds in round number 4. The referee in charge, Dr. James Jenkins, stops the contest. The winner by way of knockout, the new WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, Pedro Decima. Pedro Decima receiving the winner's belt from WBC Supervisor Hyde Collegian, the new champion Pedro Decima.
Thank you, Chick. I'm gonna have to translate in English for Pedro because he speaks no English. But I want to ask him, when did he think that he was going to become the Super Bantamweight Championship? Because it didn't even look like he was perspiring. ¿Cuándo supiste tú que ibas a ser el campeón mundial después del primer round?
No, yo sabía que iba a venir un poquito más largo porque él es bastante fuerte, aguantó muchas manos que le di.
He said that he thought it would be a little bit later because he's such a strong fighter and he takes a lot of punches. Now I'd like to ask him, what did he think, what kind of strategy he used to fight Paul Banke and what were his plans? ¿Qué pensás tú de Paul Banke y qué vas a usar de plan de boxeo para pelear con él, para quitarse su campeonato?
No, yo tenía que venir a ganar porque era mi única posibilidad que tenía. Acá tuve mucho tiempo esperando a pelear por el campeonato del mundo. Estuve a Daniel Zaragoza, a Estrada, a Benichú, ninguno quisieron. Y llegó el momento, justo me cruzó el camino Paul Banke y bueno, así fue la pelea, ¿no?
Well, he came with a plan to win the title because he'd been been dodged by Zaragoza, by all the other champions that were the world champions, and then Paul Banke came along and he decided to take the fight, and he lost the title. I want to take him to the fight, to the knockdown. Te quiero enseñar el knockdown de la pelea y quiero que me expliques qué es lo que está pasando.
Ahí la sintió, dos derechas le pegué, dos derechas.
Those are two right hands that he felt that he went to the canvas. Y la segunda vez, dime qué es lo que está pasando.
Ahí le coloqué también un gancho con combinación de manos porque
he said he threw the combination of punches in that series of punches, and it was a series of combinations plus the right hand that put Banke down that won the title. Ahora qué esperas o qué piensas tú para defender su campeonato? ¿Con quién vas?
No sé, con cualquiera, porque ahora yo soy el campeón y pienso que alguno me querrá pelear, ¿no?
I asked him who did he want to fight next for the title and who's going to defend, and I want to take a question from Chick that he wants to ask.
Yes, ask him what he meant when he said before the fight, if I can go through 4 rounds, I'll win it, and he knocked him out in the 4th.
¿Qué cuando dijiste tú que si pasa 4 rounds gano el campeonato mundial? ¿Qué querías decir con eso?
No, yo no pensé que iba a durar más largo porque era bastante fuerte. Me han dicho que yo lo vi pelear con Zaragoza y un hombre que va al frente y bastante fuerte.
But he said he didn't. He just said that it was going to be a tough fight for him, and after 4th round, it'd be a very, very strong fight. So we would like to go back to. We'd like to go to Paul Banke, but one of our trainers of Decima would like to say something very quick.
First of all, I want to say thank you to Dr. Bassi, thank you to Paul Banke people, to Tony Curtis and Jack Jackson for giving us that opportunity, and we're going to stay with the forum people.
There you go. Thank you very much. Here we go with the ex-champion now, Paul. This has to be one of the worst defeats of your life. I know it's tough to go down in defeat, but to lose the world title is also as tough. But tell me what happened to the Paul Banke that we knew and we groomed right here at the Great Western Forum.
Oh, you know what, Ruben? I felt good coming in. Everything was good. I give him the credit. Pedro Decima the credit. He caught me good. Just, you know what? I felt good coming into the fight, through my workouts, everything. Mentally, physically ready for the fight. He just caught me in. When I was in the ring, it was just a bad night in the ring.
Paul, Chick and I were down the ringside and we noticed you weren't perspiring, and you've got to be warm before you come in to a fight. You've got to be warm, you've got to be perspiring. You weren't perspiring, and I didn't think that you were warmed up.
Well, you know, Ruben, I wasn't know if I was sweating or not. You probably know better than I do. You know, I was so pumped up getting into the fight, so I wasn't really concentrating on that. He caught me.
Was he one of the toughest fights you've had?
Yeah, he beat me. No, I had this Korean fight. My last fight was September 18th, and I fought in Korean. It was a tough fight. It made Zaragoza look like a cartoon. I give him credit, a lot of credit. He's the new champion, and back to back. Me and you fight again. Next time better.
¿Quiere la revancha?
Cuando quiera, sí, le vamos a dar la revancha.
Okay, when you want the rematch, you've got it. Let's go back to ringside to Chick Hearn.